Greetings! Today I'll be covering one of my favorite games, Path of Exile. It is, in the most basic of terms, a hack and slash ARPG. But underneath the tarnished 2013 release exterior there's a lot of depth. The basic gameplay loop consists of killing monsters, taking their shit, upgrading your gear to kill even stronger monsters with it. This whole process can also consume a lot of your free time. However, as a hardy gamer, you should have enough of that. But what is it that makes this game great? After starting the game, running through the first zone and killing this fucker, you will be greeted by a small pop-up, telling you that you have leveled up. Of course, in all your naivete, you click on it and get greeted by the biggest passive skill tree you will ever see. But don't get discouraged just yet. This is actually relatively simple, because most nodes just give you some basic stats. Path of Exile also does some things differently than other games. Even though there are classes, these ain't your typical get locked into a specific playstyle choices. The classes basically just determine your start position on the passive tree and some quest rewards that don't really matter. But then comes the question, how do I actually get usable active skills? Well, you superglue these shiny gems onto your high fashion apparel, of which there are two types, active and support. And because you're very smart, I don't need to tell you that active gems do things and support gems modify these things. This is also where the fun of this game comes from, because it lets you tune your skills to your liking, even to the extent that they don't really make sense anymore. PoE also has a story. It is told in snippets throughout the game. The basics of the story get explained in fully voiced dialogue, but if you want the full lore experience, you have to read. A ton of background information is also hidden in item descriptions, because using a Gamepedia to understand the whole thing is quite fun. As for the basics, no matter which character you pick, you are an exile, banned from society and sent to a big prison island filled with dangerous animals. Quite the commentary from a New Zealand company. All the classes have different reasons for being sent there, from someone who protected his home to someone trying some kids for fun. You've got a mixed bag of fucked up. The campaign can be seen as kind of a tutorial and a life-draining text for veterans. If you are good at it, the campaign will take no longer than 4 to 7 hours. Or if you are like my friends though, prepare for a few more hours. But let's not waste any more time on the campaign than GGG did, and move on to the actual fun content. Creating builds through combining various unique mechanics into a perfectly oiled apparatus. Or just brainlessly copy a build from someone way smarter than you and proceed to stomp every enemy that dares to set foot in your path. You have never seen a game with such a complex build system before. It makes the replayability almost endless. Just be sure to pick a build that looks fun to you, because then you will grind more. But what will you be grinding for? Shiny golden rocks, of course. Here in Rayclast, the people don't use standardized minted currency. That would be too easy. They use these shiny rocks that actually have an inherent value, because you can smash them onto your gear to modify it in the process. The currency system in this game may seem daunting in the beginning, but to simplify it for you brainlets, just think of a Chaos Orb as a $1 and of an Exile Orb as $100. The rest are denominations in between. Most importantly, these orbs are the real reason you play Path of Exile. To see the numbers grow, there is no other reason. You will never fully experience PoE, not until you lay down the idea of fun and accept that the only goal is to gather more shiny rocks. Quite the parallel, huh? The next question that may arise now is, how do I gather these rocks? Well, it's quite easy really. After you are done with the campaign, you will be introduced to mapping. Maps are semi-random areas that you can modify through various means, increasing their difficulty, but more importantly, increasing their profit. There are a lot of different ways to enhance your maps, but as a basic guideline, use these orbs. There are also quite a few different endgame bosses, which can range from quite challenging for new players to walks in the park. You can farm these bosses for yourself or trade for them with other players. On the topic of trading, because Path of Exile is a game for serious gamers, it doesn't need commodities like a centralized market. You will have to trade with other players directly, for better or for worse. This can mainly be done through two methods. The brain-dead approach is using the general chat, which is filled with scum, ranging from scammers to people trying to find out your address to get your shiny orbs. Or you use the more sensible approach and use the official trading website. There you will also meet scammers, but it's far less common. And it's best to not ask why we don't have a better trading system. Chris is watching. He wants you to feel the weight of the items. So, now that we wrapped up the basics, let's talk about why people still play this game to this day. Basically, every 3 months there's a new league, where new content is added and everyone is reset to 0. This is where most people like to play. But don't worry, if you want to pretend you have real-life obligations, there's also Standard, the graveyard of league characters, which never resets. I'm also told there are players playing that, but I cannot confirm that. The best thing about new leagues though, is the new content we get, which can range from just another kill everything in a circle mechanic, to a tower defense game, or even Farmville. Liked leagues even get permanently added to the game, making it even more complex with each iteration. Don't worry though, a good chunk of this content is optional and you can just choose to not do it, and you won't be any poorer for it. Now, if you watched all of this and still decide to try the game, let me give you some tips on your way. Firstly, and most importantly, get a loot filter. It will help you see what's shit and what isn't. Basically, removing 99% of the junk you will see. Secondly, to find out the value of your loot, use Pewee Ninja. It's a fantastic site that works most of the time. There you can also see what's meta right now. And lastly, if you don't want to struggle too much, get yourself a build guide. Preferably one from the official forum, not one from a clickbait YouTube video that promises the world and underdelivers. Here are also some really nice programs that will help you a lot, but it would strain the length of the video to go in depth. And now to the review part of the video. I rate this game 10 RSI syndrome out of 10. Because numeric reviews are irrelevant. Just go and try it, it's free. So that's it. Thanks for watching the video, I hope you enjoyed it. There's more to come, hopefully soon. And here's a selection of games I definitely want to talk about sometime in the future. Take care.